Welcome to The Drive with your automotive experts and hosts, Lauren Fix and Karl Brauer. Each week we deliver the latest breaking news, vehicle reviews, and inside look at what's happening in the automotive world. Buckle up. It's time to hit the road with The Drive.
Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. I'm Lauren Fix.
And I'm Karl Brauer.
And our special guest,
Alan Taylor. It was The Drive with Alan Taylor, but now it's this other show.
Yeah, he's lucky if we even have him on the corner of the shot, as you can see. He barely makes it in.
don't run away.
So what happened? They pulled me away.
So we are here at the SEMA show, the Special Equipment Marketing Association.
Market.
It's the
Market.
worst name. I just had a friend ask me, I said, what is SEMA and all that? It's like, okay, let's rename it. The
It's a
Automotive
fertile- It's a
Aftermarket.
clinic fertile for infertility. Is what
Yeah, I would say the Automotive Aftermarket to screw your car up to make it worse than it was before you modded it.
Well, it depends who you are.
supposed to be that way.
Right. So basically this is a modification show, but it's also more than that. There's multiple shows going on at the same time. There's the Apex show, which is at the other convention center. That's all about things you use every day, from air filters to wiper blades to tires, all the normal things. This is the cool show.
It is the cool show. And when you come here, you got to drink a lot of water because you get dehydrated fast.
Yeah.
We're in the desert.
I know, right?
Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, what's that smell? Do you smell that smell? Oh, it's McGuire's. It's their new, what is it called? Show and Shine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever noticed that they perfume their
Yeah, I
car
know.
waxes?
It always
This is
smells
so
nice.
smart.
It always smells
Good
nice when
marketing.
you're
Yeah.
using their products. That's
You know,
true.
I was talking to Barry McGuire, who's actually right down there behind us. They actually hired the perfume, like the biggest perfume name in the industry to
Really?
create the odors, the smells, the scent, whatever
That
they
was
call
smart.
it.
I did not know that.
Remember, turtle wax used to smell like butt.
Yeah.
It's like,
Thank you for keeping that clean.
Yeah.
it's like seriously, yeah,
Yeah. That's the nicest way he could say that, by the way.
it's true.
It is. It is.
But the show itself has so much. There's cars out in the parking lot. There's a couple brands. There used to be a lot more brands showing stuff here.
Yeah.
But we're in the Toyota booth right now, but we're overlooking Central Hall. This is the main hall where all the suppliers, the bulk of the suppliers are.
Yeah.
And then each supplier has its own hall. South Hall is collision and wheels. And West Hall is all the things like weather tech, floor mats and cleaning stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a real interesting mix, but you got to walk the whole show and it takes a couple days.
It's
Yeah.
a who's who of the automotive industry and what used to be the television world, but now it's just the media world.
Well,
you know?
speaking of who's who did you see this morning at this show? A couple big players.
Well, Jay Leno, yeah. Jay Leno was there with Tim Kaniskis
Yeah.
at the opening breakfast
Yeah.
from Dodge and Stellantis. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get
And,
big names here.
You got some breaking news out of that.
You know, it's hard to say if it's breaking news or not because he didn't really say what it was. He just said coming soon, huge horsepower in Ram truck diesels.
Ooh.
So he said, what was it? What did he say, Mike? He said it was almost irresponsible.
I like almost irresponsible.
Mike behind the camera over there.
Tim Kaniskis is the greatest guy. I mean, you know,
He's saving Stellantis.
you know, when he makes things, when he made up the contract for the Demon 170, he said, you know, any kind of car that's this bat feces crazy, except he said something else, and it
That
actually
shit crazy, I'll say it.
okay, that was it.
Can you
And he-
say that on the radio?
Not on the radio. You'll have to beep it out.
And
Yeah.
but it was you know, that was in the contract that you signed when you were a Demon 170 owner when I got mine, is you had to sign this thing because of all
I
how
signed it when I got mine too.
crazy bat. Yeah, that's right. You did. You know, all of us did.
That's right.
And-
You had a Demon 170 as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
turned it around at 100 miles an hour on the road.
Yeah, I know. He was
From letting off the gas.
He was spinning his.
It
but,
was fun.
But
I got rid of mine too. He still
Kaniskis
has.
knows how to make compelling vehicles, and he did it for Dodge for years. Now he's got the whole Stellantis under his control, so it's going to
So-
be fascinating.
So think TRX trucks. Think Henleys and a lot of things. Half-ton diesel. We're already seeing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, so if he's already teasing something irresponsible,
No, it's
I'm game.
borderline irresponsible.
Borderline.
It's borderline. It's responsible, but it's
Borderline irresponsible.
And he had
He's still
Jay
a
Leno.
corporate guy.
But he was talking to Jay Leno.
Jay Leno said, "This guy is my hero." And you think about Jay Leno. I mean, he's a car icon in the industry.
Yeah.
And whether you're in this industry or even just a hobbyist, everyone knows he knows cars.
Yeah.
And he says Tim is his hero.
Yeah.
And it's-
Tim is Jay Leno's hero.
you know,
That's a
I
bold
gotta tell you,
statement.
It is. I asked Carroll Shelby who was his hero one time,
Yeah.
and you know, I won an award for that.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the answer?
His answer was, he goes, my hero He goes, well, that'd be my father. And he started crying.
Oh,
And it was an amazing interview. He says, my father never got to see me be a success. And it was an awesome story. But when I heard Jay Leno say that, I thought, wow, that's huge. And he's that guy.
Yeah, he is.
he's a real car guy, and I think that's what the industry needs. It's missing people that have passion for the cars.
Right.
I think a lot of times it's about, well, the government said we have to make EVs, so we made EVs, and we've covered that before in the show. Or we have to make hybrids or plug-ins. But the truth is, you, the consumer, should be saying what they're building.
Yeah. You got to stop this dictation from the government, which most people probably have a sense that doesn't always know what it's talking about. You read a lot of legislation on a given topic, and it's like maybe these guys should be making our decisions on how things are run, especially in the auto industry, because most of them don't even drive. They get chauffeured around in limousines and have no clue how the car industry works. But we could go into it. That's a whole nother show. We could talk about some of that.
Beautiful political talk right there, what you just did.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
It's called The Truth.
Yeah.
And we will always tell you the truth here on The Drive, just like you always did.
Well, I tried, and you guys always helped in, and I'm glad you guys are in. I need a little break, man. I was getting blood clots in my legs from being behind the wheel so long. So you take over. I'm going to take a nap in the back.
That's right.
seat.
Now he's trying to give us blood clots, but it's okay. We're gonna get through this.
And we've got a lot to show you here at the show. We're going to show you some cool cars. If you're listening on the radio, go to our YouTube channel, The Drive Car Show, and you'll see all the cool pictures. We'll also be posting things on our own individual Instagram and Twitter and Facebook accounts. But we saw Alan here. We said, hey, we're working together.
Okay, I want to just show you something.
Oh, no, what's he up to?
Size. Get yourself a good pair of shoes.
Yeah.
These are OOFOS, OOFOS.
You getting paid for that?
Oh my God, no. They're the best shoes to walk SEMA.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
11 and a half is my size.
This is a walking show, and as much as it's a car show,
Not
theme,
heels or dress shoes.
you're not getting any internal combustion in these convention centers. You got to walk it, and it's big.
Right. And I think that's all part of the fun.
Yeah.
And seeing people we haven't seen in a while.
all-
It's like Old Homes Week.
All right, speaking of that, I'm going to go walk around a little
Yeah,
bit.
we
You guys
got
go have
more
fun.
walking, but we also got more segments coming up. So thank you for joining us on The Drive with Lauren and Karl, and at least for the moment, Alan. And we'll be back in 1 second.
Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. This segment's brought to you by Classic Tube, pre-bent brake, fuel, and transmission lines for your collector car or for your performance car. We have a very special guest here today. Rob Ray is with Honda, but you're not just Honda. You're doing some cool off-road components and some vehicles that we're going to see in our showroom very soon.
Yeah, that would be great, right? That's exactly what we're trying to do. I have one of the best jobs in the world. I work for Honda. I've been there for almost 30 years.
Wow.
But they've asked me to come to HRC, so now I work for the Racing Corporation.
That's a cool job.
It's an insanely great job. It's very blessed. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the racing on track and off-road and bring it to our customers so that we can have it on the street and you can own it and you can be a piece of HRC, be part of the racing team.
All right, show us what you have here. This is the Honda Passport.
Yeah.
So this is our HRC edition Honda Passport. We basically just took a stock Passport and we took it and turned it up to 11. So
11.
11, yeah. So our cars are already incredibly capable. And even off-road, I think you got a chance to do some of our training out there.
Did. I got a chance to do some training. You can find it on my Car Coach Reports channel. And it was an amazing experience to find out how capable the Passport is. I don't think people realize how capable these products are. You know, you buy them, you drive them on the road.
That's right. But now, what we want to do is give you let you go a little further into the woods, a little further off-road.
This is a lot farther.
That's right. So what we've done is we replaced all the fascias on here. We've cleaned it out of your wheel well here. You can get over rocks, you can get over trees, you can get over things a lot better. Raise this
And this
thing
is
up.
going to be available through Honda?
So what we're working on now is, of course, getting a car developed takes a long time. So this is a concept car, and we are working now on the path forward with our product planners and with HRC. I do know that we're going to be producing some of these parts. So my job is performance parts. So when we go over here in just a little bit to the performance and capability walls of our parts, you're going to be able to see that you can buy these as accessories very soon.
And then, of course, you got the race cars.
Well, we're racing the Baja 1000 next week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is actually truck racing, so we're tying this into what you can have, on the street now.
But just to be clear, you're talking about making it so consumers can have access to all these kind of parts, either individually or as a package they could potentially buy right from their Honda dealer.
That's the goal. Yes, that's right.
As a more capable, expanded off-road equipment Passport.
That's right. And working for Honda Racing, everything we do is going to be authentic. It's going to take your car up. Of course you're going to have stickers, you're going to have things that make it look really good.
Yep.
We really want your car to perform better in what it's meant to do.
Now you've done that also with the Civic
Yeah, now there's
Type
a
R.
Civic back here.
This has been a fun project.
This looks like a very cool project, and I want to drive one of these.
Yeah.
Driving one of these seems incredibly difficult. I got to ride in it, but we worked with Rally Ready, and we built ourselves a Civic rally car. This is a Civic Type R experimental rally car. It's fantastic.
But this
It's
is
fun.
homologated. You homologated this for NASA and also for SRO?
No, that car, the SRO car is over there. This has not been homologated yet, but we're talking and we're thinking and we're learning about what we could do to get that done actually with this car.
And I see Liam Lawson's names on there. He's an F1 driver for
We had
Red
Liam
Bull
in
Racing.
here. Here's his helmet that I got him to sign when we took him for a ride. He took us for a ride.
Oh, I
is
bet
what
you
it did.
that was an experience.
It was unbelievable. He started slow and then he became
He started
professional.
So once again, this is like a Civic that potentially you would be able to get individual parts or
Stocks.
even a full package.
Stock Civic here,
Right.
and we just turned it into a rally.
And you turn it into a rally car.
Yeah.
It's still street legal.
Still street legal. We
Oh
drove
my
it
God.
here.
That
We
would
drove
be a
it here
blast.
from Austin.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
driven from Austin.
Yeah.
Wow, that had to be some amazing ride.
And then of course HRC's always had and is going to have even more performance parts, but now available directly to the consumer.
That's right. And usually it's been for only your on-track race only. Sign something that says you will not take it on street. We want to put it on the street.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
so-
Nice.
HRC on the street. I like
We've
it.
got our wheels. We have a stylist that works directly with us in our company. We have Integra Type S, Civic Type R, Civic wheels. We've got bigger brakes. We've got suspension coilovers. We have the short throw shifters. We have a lot of things that will make your car seem like a race car.
So Honda's future is you can get a race car and drive it on the street, put it on the track.
I like
Very
it.
cool.
That's what
All
we want
right.
to see. Thank you for your time, Rob.
Yeah,
no
and
problem. Thanks a lot.
we'll be right
We'll
back.
be right back.
Welcome back to the Drive with Lauren and Karl. Karl's out and about here at the SEMA show. I'm over here at Apex. This segment is brought to you by Car Coach Reports. If you're looking for the news of what's going on in the automotive world, don't forget to check out Car Coach Reports on YouTube. But I have a special guest with me today. Bart is from the coolest product you will ever see. This is ISSE tire socks. But no one knows what a tire sock
That's correct.
is. Well, that's why, Bart, please tell us what a tire sock is, what this is all about, because there's a great story you need to hear about.
Well, thank you, Lauren. I'm very excited to talk to you about this product. It really is a discovery for North America. If you think about any condition when you were driving in snow or ice and you felt that slipping or sliding,
Oh, yeah.
you won't feel that anymore. This is what the tire sock does. It is a real emergency solution in snow and ice conditions that anybody can install. This product literally acts as a sock that goes over your tire and will prevent the slipping and sliding that you experience when you're driving in those conditions. Think of the anxiety people have.
I've
Right?
been there, for
Yeah, it's-
sure.
And do you know that there are 23% more non-fatal accidents in the winter than any other season?
Really?
And that's because people slip and slide into each other.
I've been there.
Yep,
You've
right.
been there.
I've been there.
I live in Buffalo. It happens all the time. You know, the weather looks good. I've got winter tires and I still slide. But this is a solution that anybody can put on an all-season or winter tire?
Yes, it is. What's amazing about this product really is anybody can install it. It simply fits over and then it gives you the traction you need. Some people think about tire chains.
Right. But those are illegal, aren't they, in a lot of states?
In a lot of states they are, but also a lot of people just are not comfortable with them. They're
Right.
very hard to put on.
Right.
They sometimes cause damage to the roads, to the car.
You can hurt yourself.
You can hurt yourself. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So how
And
easy is this to put on?
this is 5 times quicker than installing a tire chain.
Okay.
It literally takes 3 minutes per tire, and you only need 2.
Okay.
You
So
put it- you-
on the driven wheel?
You put it on your drive wheel, correct, a set of 2, and they range from $129 to $200. So we have a couple different levels. This is our super. This
Okay.
one is our best
The
unit
one
that
I
we
want.
have.
I want the super because I don't like to slide through intersections because that's like anxiety, you know?
Correct. And what we have, this is patented. We have 2 patents on this. One has been issued, and it's a performance patent regarding the weaving design that we have.
Right.
And the other one is pending, which is regarding our seamless sidewall.
So that is totally seamless between this really cool, it feels like aircraft material. It's like super dense, but then on the side it's easier, so that makes it easier to install.
That is correct. And we have elastic on both sides. And what happens when you put it on, you start driving away, it self-centers. So besides self-centering, what we also have done in our design is we have an elevation reduction, so it does not balloon as it drives.
Oh,
So you can
interesting.
literally put this on a Corvette.
Oh, yeah? That would be interesting. I
Yeah.
want to see that. But I guess we've all been there where you have to get to the store. The weather was nice. It got icy out. It rained and then it froze. And then you have all season. So this would be the answer to put. You could leave this on to go to the store, get what you need, and come back.
Yeah, it's great for that actually, Lauren, because we talk about it as an emergency solution,
Okay.
but it also is wonderful for quick trips in the winter. You literally can install this on your tires in your garage, drive and make your doctor's
I like
appointments,
that.
pick
But
up your
in your garage.
Yep.
I like that.
and you can then drive around, make your errands, come back, take them off, and have them ready to go next time.
So you just air them out when you're done?
Yes, you can throw these in the washing machine.
Okay, I like that. So you can make them clean and shiny again.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're multi-season,
Yeah.
so they can be used over and over again. You can use this for over 150 miles on asphalt before it starts to
I was
degrade.
going to ask you that. So 150 miles on ice or just on asphalt
Just
alone?
on asphalt. If it's on ice and snow, it can last for much longer just because you don't have the same abrasion that creates the problem on
So
the.
you could have these for years and years.
You could have this for 5 years potentially. And the beauty thing about it too is you see with our packaging, Lauren, is very easy to put into your trunk, in your boot,
Yeah.
whatever you call it in your car.
Your boot or your bonnet, yes.
And so you have this for emergency solutions. If you don't use it this year at all, okay, that's good for you. But
Right.
you have it for next year because it doesn't age, it doesn't degrade, it doesn't
Really?
have any broken or parts that can break or anything in this. It's a beautiful design product that can provide safety for you and your family for many years.
So this is like a really unique product that no one's ever heard of before.
That is correct. We
So-
are launching it here.
So this would be good for like kids going to college,
Excellent for that. New drivers.
new drivers, because especially if you can't afford a set of winter tires, this is a really wonderful solution. And the fact that no one's ever seen this before, I think is a very exciting product here at Apex. I hope you win a bunch of awards for bringing
Well,
out a
thank
very
you.
cool product. And these are one of those things I think for consumers that when you don't think about it and you do need it, it's there. It's sort of like having a first aid kit, but for your tires.
Yes, absolutely. We think this should be in everybody's emergency kit for the winter.
I love it. I love it. So where can you find these?
Well, you can find these online at Amazon, Walmart, and our e-commerce site.
Which is Really ISSE, REALLYISSE. Check it out. They got a great video to show you what it does. I was so impressed. I had to show you guys because I think this is something that we've never heard of before, and it could be the future of keeping you safer on the road. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Lauren.
We appreciate it.
It really works. Really easy. Really ISSE.
Aha, I like that. Very good. Well done. We'll be back right after this break. We'll pop it into neutral. Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. While Karl's out walking the show floor, he ran into some very interesting people. One of them is McKeel Hagerty. Now, if you've heard of Hagerty Insurance and you own a collector car, they are a big part of our industry. And there was other events going on at the auto show at the same time. Not just SEMA, not just Apex, but there was an amazing car show that happened over at the Wynn, which had some pretty impressive cars. So we had an opportunity to speak with McKeel Hagerty, and he was telling us about some of the vehicles, how he got involved in the business, and why car insurance for collector cars is so important. They have grown so much. They own the Amelia car show as well as many other car shows, and they are a big part of the automotive industry. And if you own a collector car, a modified car, you probably are well aware who McKeel Hagerty is or Hagerty Insurance. Karl had an opportunity to speak with McKeel Hagerty, and he had some very interesting insight.
Hi, it's Karl Brauer, and I'm here at the Wynn Concours. This is the 4th year for this event, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Big enough, in fact, to attract people like McKeel Hagerty, the head of Hagerty. Well, it's everything. It's insurance, it's events, it's really cool publications. One of my favorite publications that's still in paper form and brilliant. But McKeel, here you are. And first of all, tell us what you think of the Concours and specifically the car that you brought behind us.
Oh, well, thank you. First of all, the 4th year of the Concours, what a spectacular event. You know, between the Concours cars, which are kind of situated in the center here on the golf course in Wynn, Las Vegas, and then these 2 other amazing fields full of supercars that are unlike anything I've seen pulled together. So really, this is an event that has arrived. Clearly, the generosity and largesse of Wynn is pulling an amazing group of not just cars, but collectors together. I mean, there's some huge personalities here and some people that I love meeting and talking to. So this is special. Now, the car behind me is my car. I'm showing it. And in fact, we're in the lineup about to get an award of some kind. I don't know what it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So this is a 1933 Duesenberg, Rolston body Duesenberg, called a convertible Victoria, or a Victoria Torpedo, that I've owned for a little over a year and just kind of getting to know. And I'm honored that it's going to win something, whatever it is. Just a participant's award is fine for me.
And you know, we were talking before, McKeel, and you just told me that it's cars like this when you were a kid, you just dreamed about cars like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, when people think about seeing a Pagani or seeing a Koenigsegg like we've seen here and watching people chase them around. For me, growing up, it was a Duesenberg. And in fact, I remember the day I saw my first Duesenberg when I was about 10, 12 years old with my dad, and he like slammed on the brakes and we ran out and looked at it. And I've dreamed of having one ever since. So I'm pretty honored to have this one.
Tell me your view of the marketplace right now. I mean, again, I think Hagerty has played a bigger and bigger role in the car enthusiast world. You've been involved in a lot of great events, and it seems like more every year. What's happening in the automotive enthusiast world?
Well, the car enthusiast world is alive and well, for one thing, but it's definitely going through a big generational shift, you know, and it has before and it will again someday. Sure. So what I always tell people, it is alive and well, and the next generations are into cars, but they're into different cars than I was or my dad was. And the shift is, shifting away from, pre-war cars like this, or even some of the post-war cars, more towards these modern supercars. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of always been the case. Yeah. I was the same way when I was young, and the poster on my wall, when I was born in the 60s, was a Lamborghini Countach, right? And the Cannonball Run, and then I was kind of a child of the 80s, and those were the just coolest cars you could get. Sure. And so that was my kind of gateway into a bigger car world. It actually wasn't cars like this. Mm-hmm. And so for me, this is kind of a healthy churn where the big collectors that have amassed these incredible collections are starting to sell some of them off. And what was cool is actually, we had one of our auctions. You said we were in the auction business. Yeah. In Brauer, we had our auction here yesterday, and we set a record with a Bugatti Veyron. That was it was the highest car price in the sale, but it was also a record for a Veyron, which is celebrating its 20th year. Sure. And that actually went to a very mature collector with a lot of pre-war cars and a lot of cars of different generations. And I just think that's a cool sign. Yeah. That's great.
No, and like you're saying, it's nice when you get to see at least a certain percentage of any given era of cars leap generations. Yes. I'm like you. I grew up with a lot of the cars that it's like, well, they imprinted on me, but people aren't going to care about these cars that are half my age. And I credit a lot of pop culture. I feel like Fast and Furious. I'm shocked when there are kids half my age or younger that think 68 Chargers are cool and 70 Plymouth GTXs are cool and stuff. It's like, okay, well, that's cool. I'm happy to see that. I thought you guys would all just be writing it off. Yep. So it is fun to see the shift, like you say. What about?
And sometimes it's media, right, or a movie or something like that can trigger something, and that's okay. And
think about 68, Mustangs, 77 Trans Ams, Sometimes pop culture will have a bit of an impact on
the old double nickel.
My daughter loves the third generation Firebird Formula. She's a Formula 350 Firebird. Okay. She saw years ago, and she's way too young to have seen Knight Rider in its original thing. But I showed her that, and now I bought her one. She's put almost 50,000 miles on it.
Good dad.
She loves it.
Good dad.
I'm trying to keep the enthusiasm world alive.
I like it.
So, well, what do you see kind of going forward in the marketplace? And specifically, again, for Hagerty, you guys, again, are just involved in a lot of things. How do you see the next 10 years going in the car world?
Well, again, generational shift happening. It's a little bit more experiential. So people are interested in driving experiences with cars, a little less static showing. Doesn't mean that shows completely go away, but it's more, I want to own the car, but I want to drive it. Maybe I'll show it a little bit. Definitely, we saw after COVID this, real acceleration with off-road vehicles, and especially kind of customized, hot-rodded kind of things, and things like off-road vehicles. So you think of all these like wild, Land Rover Defenders and International Scouts and Jeeps and all these things, and people are not only owning them as a cool car that you can drive, but you can actually go into a place that earlier generations would have gone to the racetrack. And now people are, taking them off-road and going out there and then just enjoying the outdoors. So these new segments are sort of arriving, and they're here. And to me, it's kind of, again, healthy churn, a change. Car world is healthy. So for Hagerty, we're involved in more driving events. We do have the auction business now, which is super fun to help people buy and sell cars when they're ready. And on the insurance world, we're doing more internationally. So this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And so I love it. I'm having a blast.
You don't see it ending anytime soon.
It's not, no. I mean, all the sky is falling kind of things, just they're not looking at the data that I see.
Well, it sounds pretty amazing and pretty optimistic. And I feel like if anyone's got an opinion, I'm going to put some faith in as far as what's going on in the automotive world, it's going to be McKeel Hagerty. So thank you for taking the time. Thank you for insuring my 2012 911 Turbo S and my 2023 Demon 170.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And thank you again for being involved in all these events and helping to keep this passion alive.
My pleasure.
Great talking to you, McKeel.
Thank you.
Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. Thank you, Karl, for that very interesting interview with McKeel Hagerty and Hagerty Insurance. This segment brought to you by ISSE Tire Socks. Winter roads get slippery and icy no matter where you live. No problem. Get instant traction with ISSE Tire Socks, the clean, easy alternative to chains. Like a sock, it's easy to install. Available now on Amazon and Walmart. ISSE Tire Socks, that's ISSE, really ISSE. Coming up next, we're talking with one of the most respected voices in the collector car industry, Alexander Weaver. He's a partner and senior car specialist at Broad Arrow Auctions. You've seen the auctions on TV. They're always exciting and impressive, but Broad Arrow has quickly become a powerhouse in the auction world, known for its record-setting sales, its impeccable curation, and bringing real excitement back to the collector car scene. Whether it's rare Ferraris, classic Porsches, or modern supercars, Alexander has seen it all, and I think they've sold it all as well. In our conversation with Karl Brauer, we'll dive into some of the latest trends in the market, what's hot, what's cooling off, and what serious collectors should be watching as we head into the auction season. If you love the car stories, craftsmanship, and investment potential, you won't want to miss this. Let's go into the interview with Alexander Weaver from Broad Arrow and Karl Brauer.
Hi, it's Karl Brauer here at the 4th Annual Wing Concours, and I am fortunate enough to talk to Alexander Weaver, VP of Private Sales at Broad Arrow Auctions. And we're surrounded by a lot of really pricey and expensive and special cars, and the industry just keeps changing and growing. And I would love to hear what you think is going on right now, what you've seen in the past year, and what you think is happening over the next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look around the field here, what they've done here at the Concours is really representative of what is happening in the market right now. You know, this field is, they've multiple fairways full of cars. We have the kind of the general classic Concours fairway here with a lot of the, you know, the 30s, you know, grand cars and you know, American muscle stuff, and you got some race cars, standard Concours type participant stuff here.
Right.
But if you look at the next lawn over, that's where it gets really interesting. You know, you have the Bugattis, you have the Koenigsegg's, you have the largest collection of Bugattis ever put together at one place for modern Bugattis. It's
Crazy.
fantastic. So, and as you see that the market is really jumping into the late model collectible stuff. And then over in the Lamborghini area, you see all the Diablos and Countach's, poster cars, we call them. So.
Right.
Yeah, and the market's really favoring some of the more late model stuff, 70s and up.
Now, it seems like, you know, there's been maybe some pullback at some levels of the market, which sometimes happens, but then, you know, at other levels, you know, like the highest levels, it still seems pretty strong, right? Like the really valuable cars are still really valuable, and the top of the market is really still hot.
Yeah, absolutely. And people have said, you know, when are these 30s cars gonna go down in value? Because, you know, are the people that were collecting them, are they, you know, aging out maybe and stuff like that?
Right.
But it's actually kind of the opposite. They've gotten even more attention in recent years.
Right. No, it does. It seems like the top end cars are still in high demand, and there's always going to be a marketplace for those. But where things start to shift is, and we've got McKeel Hagerty's Duesenberg starting up right behind us, going up to collect his award.
Good luck, guys.
Congratulations. Yay. So, yeah, there's always a market for these very special, unique cars, but sometimes segments of the market will pull back a little bit and all. Are you guys seeing that? Does it seem like maybe the second, third tier cars are pulling back at all?
You know, what we do see is, you know, when are we going to see the 30s cars pull back? Yes, they have started to pull back in the segments that are generally not as, you know, higher production number cars, you know, a standard, you know, 35 Chevy 4-door sedan, like that's going to be pulled back. But you have, you know, a one-off Duesenberg with a fantastic body that's super beautiful, that's going up still.
Right.
You know, so it depends on, you know, the exclusivity of the car within that era too, I think.
And what about like globally? It seems like there's as much or more attention outside of the US on specialized cars like this than there has ever been. Is that your sense?
I think it's a pretty global market, and what we're dealing with right now is U.S. buyers having less incentive to buy cars in Europe or abroad in general because of the tariff situation, you know, and trying to get cars back into the U.S. So we've seen a slowdown of U.S. buyers buying stuff elsewhere, but it's actually helped build the U.S. market even more and solidified it even more, because if the car's already here, it's really valuable to the U.S. market.
Because it doesn't have to deal with the tariff issue.
Exactly.
Fascinating. I hadn't even thought about that aspect. So you're an individual, let's say you've got a fair amount of wealth, your net worth is strong enough that you're ready to spend between $500,000 and $1 million on a specialized car. And assume you're widely interested, you love all the kind of cars.
Yep.
What does Alexander Weaver say would be a wise investment between $500,000 and $1 million?
You know, that's tough. I think, because I don't like to look at them as investments because I enjoy them. You know, I'm like,
that's a good rule, by the way.
Yeah, let's try to, you know, but you know, personally, what I like and what I think, you know, is a very solid place to park your money are, you know, 20, 30-year and newer sports cars with manual transmissions and less nanny aids and less electronics and stuff like that, like, you know, pure driver's cars.
So something when maybe it's an 05, 06 Ford GT.
Love that, yes.
Maybe it's a 911R.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, one that doesn't have a manual, but is one of mine that I keep just wishing I'd bought earlier because it's already too late, is the 458 Speciale.
Well, and that wasn't available in a manual. So
right.
I agree. A 458 Speciale has always been one of my all-time favorites, that and the McLaren 675 LT. So put those two together, I think you got a really good combination.
Okay. Well, this is really helpful. I think the industry is never, I always keep saying the automotive industry is never boring, but I can't imagine it's going to get any more interesting to me. And it keeps proving me wrong.
Absolutely, yeah, that's great.
It keeps changing in ways that make it more fascinating than ever. But Alexander, I really appreciate the time and the update, and we'll be looking forward to future Broad Arrow auctions. I know you guys are doing more all the time. What's your next one coming up?
Amelia Island in March, so at the Amelia Concours.
All right, we'll be looking for that one next.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Alexander.
Thanks, Karl.
Appreciate the
See
time.
ya.
Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. This segment brought to you by ISSE Tire Socks. When the snow hits, stay in control with ISSE Tire Socks. Engineered for safety and grip, find ISSE Tire Socks on Amazon and Walmart. ISSE Tire Socks. They're really ISSE to put on your car tire. So Lauren, we have just been at the SEMA Auto Show, or I guess it's the aftermarket automotive show. It's been going on forever. You and I are veterans of this show. It's quite the it's quite the spectacle. It's one of the biggest shows. Oh my gosh, you know, it's one of the biggest shows in Vegas. You know, Vegas has big shows every year, and I know SEMA's in the top 3 as far as just scale. And it's actually 2 shows. Everyone says SEMA, but as you and I both know, there's also the Apex show. There are aftermarket companies as well as mainstream manufacturers all over the place. It was known for years as the tire and radio show, remember, because that's the most common thing people modify on their cars wheel and radio, the wheel and radio show, because people modify their wheels and they modify their radios or their audio systems. But it's got a little bit of everything. We've walked the floor. We wore ourselves out. What did you think? I think you've gone even more than I have. You started before I was going, and you had a company. Obviously, Classic 2 had a good reason and compelling reason to go because you're part of that aftermarket kind of automotive supplier world. What's your opinion of SEMA in 2025?
It's changed a lot. That is for sure. My first time going was 1986 with a company called Stainless Steel Brakes, which is no longer in business. I used to design braking systems for them back in the day. But then we started going in 89 with my husband's company, Classic 2. And setting up as a booth, it's a completely different experience. I mean, you get there on Monday, you set up your booth, you wait for people to show up on Tuesday, and by Friday, you're fried. You're just done. At that time, people that were walking around were buyers. So if you were selling whatever it might be, tires, wheels, floor mats, even if it was, oil and whatever it might be, because the Apex show does all the things you would find in an auto parts store. And SEMA was always all the aftermarket things, the modifying things, like you said, audio systems, tires, wheels, collisions things, decals, radar detectors, battery tenders, whatever you might want.
Body kits, body kits were big, that whole thing.
All that. Well, at that time, the buyers would come around, people from like Amazon or Walmart. That's pretty much changed. They're only there on day one and only for half the day, and they're gone. They hit both shows, they have a bunch of buyers. And what has happened is the show transitioned after COVID, where it used to be all of the buyers, and now they've allowed a lot of, they call them jobbers, but it's anyone who modifies a car. You can say that you're Lauren and Karl's Auto Body and you can get in. And on Friday, they opened it up to consumers, which isn't good for a lot of companies that sell business to business, which is mostly what Classic Tube does, but we do sell to consumers. And it just got to be very expensive. And to give you an idea of cost, it's at least $100,000 for a very small 10 by 10 booth, which is a very small area just to set up. You got to bring people out there, you got a hotel.
Really?
Yeah, and then
100 grand just to have a minimum appearance at the show, as on the show
right.
floor.
And they have something called drayage. You have to ship your container there of whatever your display is in advance, and then you got to wait for the union guy to put it on, get it there. So basically, you don't get out of there till Friday night at midnight. You're totally drained. All your employees are there, and if you're a smaller company, you have no one left back at your company, and you have to make that up in profit, not in sales. So I think the show is great for people that are building cars and want to show what they're capable of. And we've seen a lot of companies come out of that. Like Chip Foose was designing and building cars, and now Chip Foose has components and parts you can buy there. So you'll see a lot of that type of car, but there's also the drifting pit, which is not just loud and dirty, but a lot of tires got eaten up there. And a very few tire brands. I've noticed that changed a lot. It used to be like Michelin and BF Goodrich and Continental. They're not there anymore. They weren't even at what they call the Apex show, which is the automotive aftermarket show. And that was interesting to me because it used to be that way. And there's a lot of international companies that used to be on the lower floor at Apex. They've now pretty much taken over 3/4 of the upper floor at Apex. That's at the Sands Convention Center. And it's just interesting to watch the changes. The future of it is going to be a lot of people bring cars to show other people what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it really does feel like it's almost more like a Fast and Furious showcase.
And they were there too. So
Right. And it makes sense for a lot of those. There's some racer people I know that went, one of the racer girls I follow on IG, she was there. Of course, we talked to the Spark people, about their diagnostic kit. Yeah. Very cool. Some of the things that Spark can do, but it's a crazy show. I'm glad that we only had to be there a little while to get our business done, because it takes a lot out of you.
It does. And now we'll be covering more of these different people that we've seen. Of course, if you missed the show and you'd like to watch what we saw, you can go to our YouTube channel called The Drive with Lauren and Karl. It's at The Drive Car Show. And you've been listening to The Drive, your trusted source for the latest car news, expert reviews, and real insight in the automotive world. Thanks for riding along with us today. Don't forget to subscribe and comment on our YouTube channel and join the conversation. And until next time, stay safe, enjoy the ride. And we'll be right back here next week on The Drive on your local radio station, on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. And don't forget to check out Karl at Karl Brauer Cars, and I'm at Car Coach Reports. Thanks so much for listening.
You've been listening to The Drive, your trusted source for the latest car news, expert reviews, and real insights into the automotive world. Thanks for riding along with us today. You can check out the entire archive of every episode on our YouTube channel, The Drive with Lauren and Karl. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and join the conversation by leaving your comments. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay safe, enjoy the ride, and we'll see you right back here on The Drive.